Look at coronavirus trends is more encouraging this Sunday, yet the count of new infections remains stubbornly high, and there are some warning signs of brewing trouble. Let's take a look, and let's start with the map. And again, you see a lot of beige on the map, a good amount of green on the map. That is much better than last Sunday, and definitely better than 2 Sundays ago. 12 states heading in the wrong direction, meaning more cases now than last week. 12 of them. It's the Oklahoma dark red, New Jersey dark red, Rhode Island dark red at the moment. That means the case count is going up significantly. But look at all the beige. Those are 27 states holding steady right now, including California and Arizona, 2 states that had been driving the summer surge. 11 states going down, including Florida and Texas, 2 more states that have been a big factor in the summer surge. So the map looks better today. In a moment, we'll get to some warning signs. Just do want to go back and look, though, even if you're a bit more encouraged this Sunday, here's the issue, right? We got down to about 17,000 cases a day at the beginning of June. July was just a horrible month for the coronavirus in the United States. As we move into August, the question is this a plateau here? Is it starting to come down a little bit? That would be great. That's still a high baseline at 60,000 cases a day or more. And this has been the big debate. Dr. Fauci on Capitol Hill just the other day saying he wishes, you see the 17,000 here, he wishes the United States had been able to push this down lower. He pushed it down lower, Dr. Fauci makes the case, then this might not have happened.
When they shut down to the tune of about 95%, getting their baseline down to tens or hundreds of cases per day. So whereas when we did it, we got it down, but unfortunately, our baseline was 20,000 a day.
With us this Sunday again to share their expertise, Dr. Ashish Shah. He's the director of Harvard's Global Health Institute. Dr. Megan Ranney, an emergency room physician and a researcher at Brown University. Dr. Shah, let me start with you. Dr. Fauci was making the point there that the European Union was much more successful at shoving the baseline down. The United States never really got lower than 17 or 18,000 cases a day. The president just yesterday tweeting, Dr. Fauci is wrong. I suspect you believe he is correct.
Yeah, so Dr. Fauci is correct, John. And again, thank you for having me on to discuss this. You know, Dr. Fauci has been right about this pretty much all along. We opened up way too early. And part of it is when you open up with 17 to 18,000 cases, you have much less room for error. And then when we opened up bars and restaurants, we saw what we saw in July. So I think we really set ourselves up for failure. And then what we saw was, you know, tens of thousands of people getting sick. And unfortunately now more than 1,000 Americans dying every day.
And the numbers are sad. The question is, will they get better? Dr. Ranney, I want to follow up on that point. I want to use some more graphics just to show you. This is Florida, which has been driving the summer surge. And you see the reopening back here in May. You see the 50% capacity for bars here. And then you see there's always a lag time, right? You drop restrictions, wait a couple weeks. And you see the cases coming up here. Our bars shut down again here. Still kept going up in Florida, starting to maybe come down a little bit, but still a 10,000 baseline. Let's move over to Texas, and you see the same thing. Reopening begins, bars reopen, starts to go up, bars shut again, still going up. A new mask mandate in some counties in Texas still takes a couple of weeks, beginning maybe to plateau. Any doubt in your mind, Dr. Ranney, that when you close the bars again, or you add a mask mandate, then wait 2 weeks, case numbers come down? Pretty clear, right?
It is absolutely clear. All the data, both just from watching what happens in individual states as well as from larger studies, points to the fact that when we put these very basic public health measures in place, we decrease transmission of the virus. If people are wearing masks, they don't pass it to each other as quickly or easily. And if people are not in bars or social situations, they're less likely to pass it. Many of these large super spreader events that we've identified, including this week, an event at a youth camp, include places where people are close together, singing, yelling, maybe drinking without masks. And you're right, we do see about a 2 or 3 week lag time between putting those measures in place and seeing decrease in counts. We can't expect to see this change overnight. But when you say we're in a better place today because we're in greens, our levels are still far too high. We need those masks. We need those large social gatherings, honestly, shut down for the time being until our country can come up with a comprehensive national strategy to get this virus under control.
Right, and to be clear, to echo you, when I say we're in a better place, we're in a better place compared to a week or two ago. That does not mean we're in a good place by any means. And here's another sign of that. And you mentioned the lag time, and that's what worries me when we look at this. If you look at the positivity rate in the country right now, each state is conducting testing. It reports its positivity rate. If you look here, the beige states are the states where the positivity rate is under 5%. That's where you want to be. You'd like to be at 0 or 1%. All right, then you get the states, the yellowish orange here, between 5 and 10%. You see a fair amount of red here on the map as well. This is the state of play today. The problem for me, Dr. Shah, is when you look at the trend, right? This is the state by state right now. But if you look at positivity in terms of, are you up from a week ago? Look at all this red. The overwhelming majority of the states are reporting a higher positivity rate this week than last week, which tells you, count 14 days, and that case count is going to go up, not just in your Californias and Texas, but in your Missouris and in your Indianas and in your Ohios, right?
Absolutely, John. And there are actually two things that are going on there. One is the level of underlying infection is rising, which is obviously the thing that we are most concerned about. But in about 18, 20 states, the number of tests that are being done is actually falling. And it's falling because our testing system is under such strain that we just can't even deliver the tests today that we were doing 2 weeks ago in about 18, 20 states. That's very concerning because when cases are rising and your number of tests are falling, that's a recipe for disaster. So I'm very worried about a lot of those states that in the days and weeks ahead, we're going to see a lot more suffering and unfortunately a lot more hospitalizations and deaths.
And to your point about testing, there was that hearing. You saw Dr. Fauci. We played that sound earlier. Dr. Redfield was there as well. So was Admiral Jawar. You both talked so repeatedly here on Sundays about the importance of testing. I was listening to the Admiral, and I'm sorry, let's play it here. I was having a sad sense of deja vu.
Right now in America, anybody who needs a test can get a test in America with the numbers we have.
I think we're really on track right now. It looks very good. In the ideal world, everybody would have a test result right when they got it.
Would it be possible for our nation to have results for all COVID tests completed and returned within 48 and 72 hours?
It is not a possible benchmark we can achieve today, given the demand and the supply. It is absolutely a benchmark we can achieve moving forward.
Dr. Rani, you heard from him in May, in June, in early July, and just the other day in late July. We keep hearing, we're not there now, we'll get there. We're not there now, we'll get there. What is the issue?
The issue is a lack of planning, honestly. Feels, for those of us on the front lines, it feels like Groundhog Day. This is absolutely an achievable goal, he's correct, but we have not pushed to make it happen. We need to activate the Defense Production Act, we need to get swabs and reagents out, and I'm going to remind us that if we think testing is bad now, wait until we have kids back in school and kids back on college campuses in a few weeks. Our testing needs are going to skyrocket. And we need to be planning now. Heck, we needed to be planning 2 or 3 months ago for this. We can do it, but it is going to take political will, which so far we've been lacking.
And Dr. Shah, finish the conversation on that point. When Dr. Rani mentions kids back in school, we'll see how many because every district's making their decision. When you see kids back on college campuses, and when you see right now the positivity change increasing almost everywhere from a week ago, what is the challenge right around the corner?
Yeah, so I think our testing system, the one that we have built, is just starting to really collapse here. And I think we need a shift. We need a shift to totally different testing modalities because we just didn't build the testing system. We've been talking about it for months to deliver for the American people. It's sad to hear Admiral Jawar still saying anybody who needs a test can get one. We know that's not correct. We need to do this differently, John, and I'm worried that we're not going to get the leadership from the feds. And so we're going to have states really take leadership to deliver the kind of testing that the American people need.
Trying to do it at a time, back to school, back to campus and the like. We shall see how it plays out. We'll discuss next Sunday, I suspect. Dr. Shah, Dr. Rani, thanks again. I'm grateful for your time on this Sunday to help us go through the facts.